What's good, YouTube? Today, we're going to be going over... Bro, look. Kawhi Leonard was a man on a mission tonight. Kawhi Leonard ended the game off with 39 points, shooting 79, damn near 80% from the field. Bro, this guy... Look, if you play 2K, right? This guy had Midi Magician Hall of Fame. If Kawhi Leonard got a mid-range shot against the Denver Nuggets in that game, bro, would not missing. Doesn't matter who was in his face. Jamal Murray, bop. Michael Porter Jr., bop. It didn't matter who was in front of him. He was just going in. It was just going, bro. A monster game from Kawhi Leonard. Bro had the ChatGPT takeover. Bro had the OpenAI badge Hall of Fame. I don't know what it was. But Kawhi Leonard, we saw a vintage performance that night. It looked like he turned back the clock to 2019, the way the shots was going in. The ISO possessions, it looked like something straight out of the Raptors. Not just that, though. Not just that. He wasn't just stuffing the stat sheet. But bro came up big when they needed him most. There was this one possession. If you watch the game, I'm sure you know it. It was 103-102, and Kawhi, he's being guarded by Aaron Gordon. He's taking the ISO possession, right? And he's bringing it up, and he gets in that shot that he wants. He gets in that mid-range position, and then boom, like just automatically, bro, he had a magnet to that ball whenever he got into that mid-range territory. The shots just were not missing. So that one goes in, and then it's a Denver ball. Denver's bringing it up. At this point, the score is 105-102, and you see Nikola Jokic, and what he's trying to do is drive into the paint, and then he sees Russel Westbrook out on the three-point line. He tries to force a pass inside, and then Kawhi just swats it away. And then at that point, you knew the game was over. Not only did he come up big on the offensive end, but bro, on the defensive end too. But I don't know what happened with this OpenAI update. I don't know what GPU unit got integrated into Kawhi, but he was something else, man. He was Superman out there tonight. And Norman Powell came big. Around the minute 30 mark. Left the game. Both teams, they were just going band for band. And Norman Powell got the ball. He was at the three-point line and just lets it fly. He does like a sidestep three, bangs it in, and then bro starts just screaming at the top of his lungs, bro. Shout out Norman Powell, man, because he did have a poor shooting performance, but that really was a shot at the game. Another big factor of the Clippers' success was James Harden and Zubac. Bro, them boys was looking like a dynamic duo out there. Every time Zubac got into the paint, Harden just found him. They had like such a good connection that really went and turned into good offense. Not only that, but Harden, bro, this guy needs to fill on the three sometimes. He had some nice ones, but there was like a few Harden possessions where he drove in, threw a floater up, and dude, they couldn't miss. Every single floater Harden put up tonight, I feel like he just could not miss. And then another thing that I saw was, bro, fourth quarter yelling, why the fuck Batum, man? Bro, Nicholas Batum was out here hitting no-dip threes, looking like prime Bronny James. Bro was looking like prime Bronny James. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. No, Batum, I can't lie, that shot was tough. Honestly, the Clippers, they're just hitting on all cylinders. They needed that game. After losing in overtime in the fashion that they did in the first one, they needed this game because let's be honest, you go down 0-2, and I know they say a series doesn't start until a home team loses, but the Clippers had their back against the wall. And if the Nuggets were to go out and get on a 2-0 lead, we'd be looking at the series a lot differently. If Jokic didn't just chuck up a dumbass three right at the end of that game and maybe, thought it through a little bit better and didn't have those 7 turnovers, because, look, Jokic is still going to put up a ridiculous stat line, but Jokic did end up with 7 turnovers, and you expect that from a guy of his caliber. Jokic, what's a bad Jokic game, right? Bro's going to have like 23, 8, and 11, right? You can't even complain with that. But the turnovers were a big factor. He had 7 turnovers, and that was a massive problem. But that was a big factor in why the Clippers won this game, was because Jokic did have a bad game to his standards. Now, to everyone else, that's still a monster performance, but that's just the level of player Nikola Jokic is. But those turnovers did hurt the Nuggets altogether. And we'd be looking at the series a lot different if Denver was able to take this 2-0 lead. So the Clippers absolutely needed this win. And then if you want to look at it from Denver's perspective, shout out Michael Porter Jr. because he did have a big bounce back game after an off night, game 1. You saw he got benched by the new coach. Who the fuck is that guy? We don't know his name yet. But no, I'm just messing. I don't know his name. But look, Michael Porter, this is my job. Hold on, I should probably research this. David Adelman. My apologies. He is undefeated since becoming the head coach until tonight. So maybe should be putting some more respect on his name. But I was always big on Michael Malone, and I'm still upset about that firing. But the Nuggets still seem to be playing good basketball. So shout out David Adelman. He seems like the type of guy where if you're having a bad game, it doesn't matter who you are, what you're getting paid on this team. You're getting benched. And that's what happened to Michael Porter Jr. in game 1. And then this game, shout out to him. He did have a bounce back performance. He did get hurt around the end of this game, so Brody did have to come in. But speaking of Brody, Russ can shoot. Russ can shoot like that. Russ has been shooting the lights out this series. Bro, I'm so happy for him because I really do like Russell Westbrook. I'm a big Russell Westbrook guy. I think that his MVP season was one of the best MVP seasons ever. And I know a lot of people try to hate on him. But, man, I love Russell Westbrook, and I really like to see him succeed. So seeing him, let's not talk about the Minnesota game. But let's talk about how he's been playing this playoff so far. He's been absolutely phenomenal. And shout out for Jamal Murray, too, bro. Jamal Murray was really going band for band out there. Especially in that first half of the game, him and Kawhi were literally, doing money spreads. If we're counting shots as, band for band, bro, Jamal Murray was money spreading out there with Kawhi. We needed more from Christian Braun, though. He only had 2 of 7. You really need more from Christian Braun. I know he's playing heavy on the defensive end. He's showing a lot of effort. But you will need more from him if you're the Denver Nuggets. You can't have him just... You need him to be a two-way player for you in order to have better success this series. So I'm expecting more from Christian Braun. He's a good role player. But briefly, I do want to talk about the Detroit and Knicks game. Just real quick. Detroit is back. Bro. This series is really reminiscent of last year when it was the Nuggets and Lakers, bro. That if you're a Braun fan, bro, that series gave you nightmares like how it did to me. The Nuggets were down the entire series up until the end of the game, and they would just somehow get the win. Some weird shit would go down, and all of a sudden Denver's up. That was really reminiscent of what happened in game 1. I thought it was going to happen in game 2, where the Knicks were down the entire series. They were getting out-hustled. They just weren't showing enough effort. And you thought they were about to maybe fluke another one over here, but shout out Dennis Schroeder. My boy dropped 20 points. My boy who's the bop of the NBA. Bro, I know when Dennis Schroeder, whenever he gets traded to a new team, I know, bro he doesn't even bother trying to get a new place. He doesn't bother trying to sign this big lease, bro. He's probably renting out Airbnbs just to stay over there. But shout out Dennis Schroeder. He had a monster game, and he had a big 3, which got the Pistons the lead. And then from there, the Knicks had many opportunities to score a basket. Bridges went for a shot. Bro, Bridges was straight bricking at the end of the game. Bridges was going for shots. Jalen Brunson played his heart out. He was the only one doing it out there. And, man, Detroit basketball is back. Big night from Cade Cunningham. He had 33 points, 52% from the field. And this is what I expected from Cade Cunningham. I know that first game he didn't play... in my opinion, he did have a bad game. I know the box score doesn't really say it was all too bad, but he just was not showing any effort in what you would expect from a Cade Cunningham. And this one, he just looked more like himself. He was moving like himself. He was playing his type of brand of basketball. And that was a big reason why they were able to hold firm in this game. And really, not even holding firm, but really just showing the initiative, being the aggressor. And the Knicks were not able to compete. Bro, first of all, Bridges could not shoot towards the end of the game. He was going for every single three-point opportunity he probably could have, just chucking up shots. None of them were going in. And those 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges is not looking good right now. This should be a wake-up call for the New York Knicks. Look, they got a nice roster on paper. On paper, you look at it, they're the 3rd best team in the East, right? They're a top 6 team in the league and have the potential to be even higher. You went all in on Mikal Bridges. You went all in by getting Karl Anthony Towns. Those guys need to step up. They need to play better as a collective group instead of just letting Jalen Brunson play hero ball. And Tom Thibodeau talked about it, how Jalen Brunson, when he went to the halftime, when it was halftime in that first game, he came up with the cape. Man, that hero ball isn't going to always get you the win. It worked in game 1. It didn't work in game 2. You need the others to step up. Whether if it's Josh Hart, whether it's Mikal Bridges, whether it's my favorite TikToker, McBride, you need someone to step up, and you're hoping it's Mikal Bridges or Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby. You're hoping it's those guys, but this is a wake-up call for the Knicks. I'm really excited for the series. I had the Knicks winning it. That pick don't look as good right now, but we'll see how it goes. I'm tuning in to every single game of this one. 2 banger games. Both series are set to 1-1, and if y'all enjoy this type of content, I appreciate you for sticking all the way to the end of the video. Make sure you like and subscribe so I know that you are liking what you're seeing. And on top of that, let me know what type of videos I want to see in the comments below. If there's any type of ideas or something that you want me to cover. Any type of love is appreciated once again, and take care, y'all.